Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Thai Expat Daily Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's just jump into it. Phuket pushes for proactive vaccination to reach its 70% goal. A push is underway to get people registered for mass vaccination in Phuket in an effort to still reach the 70% threshold to open to international tourism on July 1. In a meeting on the Phuket Tourism Sandbox Plan at the Provincial Hall on Thursday, a new proactive scheme was hatched to get people registered and vaccinated. Phuket has set a target of 310,000 vaccinations by the end of June, with 400,000 vaccines planned to be administered within the next month and a half. As of now, 132,070 people have been vaccinated in the province. That's about 28% of the population. An additional 212,500 people have completed the online registration for vaccination appointment. They're planning to follow the massive success in Lampang province, which has signed up its residents for vaccines in huge numbers by going door to door. And this seems to be the general plan, trying to get to 70% so they can reopen for international tourism on July 1. Now, the issue I take with that, and these are the current figures up in front of us now, currently 162,225 people has been vaccinated. The target set is 466,587, so that's 34% as we speak. Now they are saying that as of yesterday, which was the 21st, 229,085 have registered to be vaccinated. So when you add those two numbers with the what's been vaccinated and what's registered to do it, you're still about 75,000 people short. It's quite a lot of people to reach your 70%. Also, just to bear in mind that a lot of this is not fully vaccinated. So the people who've had Sinovac, they probably would be fully vaccinated before the July 1st reopening. However, if you've had and you receive AstraZeneca next month, the chances are that you actually won't be fully vaccinated. Actually, you won't be fully vaccinated because according to the Thai government, the time frame between the first and the second jab is anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. I even read in Phuket they're trying to push it out to 16 weeks, which would be nearly 4 months. So they seem to be fiddling the figures to suit their own narrative right now and their own plans, but it's not really what they say. So also, if you administer AstraZeneca to people, will they be allowed to come into the province still? Because according to the rules, you've had to have 2 doses. Are you going to keep people locked up for 4 to 5 months in the province? Seems very odd to me, very strange. They don't look like they're going to make the 70%, to be quite frank and honest. I mean, the rule, what they set out was that it's 70% of fully vaccinated people. They're not going to get to 70% fully vaccinated by July 1st. So let's see what happens if they change the rules to suit themselves. But we'll keep an eye on that story and we'll definitely get back to you with regular updates. So details have been released on how foreigners can sign up for the vaccine. As you know from yesterday, the government announced that all foreigners could sign up for the vaccine starting from June 7th onwards. So according to new details from the Ministry of Public Health, Thailand will begin vaccine registration for foreigners and expats on June 7th. With growing outbreaks and COVID-19 spreading through workers and the general population, the government is setting their agenda and targets based on COVID-19 risk, regardless of nationalities. The government had officially set vaccination rollout as a top priority on the national agenda last week and is working to be prepared for full implementation for vaccine registration for everybody by the June 7 deadline. In order to accommodate foreigners as part of the vaccine rollout scheme, the Ministry of Public Health is planning on-site registration at a vaccine centre and putting procedures in place for local hospitals where the foreigner may have already received treatment. Foreigners with a social security number can register at a vaccine centre. Those who have previously received any treatment at a hospital can go back to that hospital with their health records and use their passport to register for a vaccine appointment. Failing either of those scenarios, the Ministry of Public Health is determining specific hospitals designated to be vaccine registration hubs for foreigners. The Deputy Spokesman for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed that plans have been scrapped for any mobile app or online registration for foreigners, as the data on foreigners living in Thailand is scattered between various agencies. No centralized database exists to use for a mobile app to verify people for a vaccine appointment. In Bangkok, Bang Rak Health Centre and Vimut Hospital have been designated as locations for foreigners to sign up for a vaccine. Also, any vaccine centres that is being run or overseen by the Council of University Presidents of Thailand will be hosting foreigners for on-site registration. Outside of Bangkok, the Ministry of Public Affairs has designated specific hospitals in each province for foreigners to sign up for a vaccine appointment. If you already have a health record at a hospital, it is advised you contact them and ask if they can sign you up or refer to where you can register for vaccines. And that is really it today. Now, they had another update, and they basically have kind of said that regardless of your visa status as a foreigner, whether it seems to be even if you're a tourist, you can sign up to get the vaccine. So that's really good news for foreigners in Thailand. I think there's been a huge progression since the complete confusion of last week to now. So I think people are starting to feel a bit better about it, and that there is kind of like a pathway to getting a vaccine. And that is really what expats in Thailand want, is just a pathway. I mean, if we're going to be still waiting 2 or 3 months, that's what it will be, but there's a pathway to it now, and there seems to be a clear direction. Also, one thing that the spokesperson mentioned today is don't be calling up the hospital today. Give them some time to get organized. It's now the 22nd of May. The vaccine registration starts on June 7th, so that's 2 weeks. So don't be calling up, send them messages. Oh, we'd like to do this. Oh, we'd like to do that. And then getting annoyed when they say we're not ready for you yet. That's the way it's going to be. You just have to wait. A little patience and we're going to all get there. The Tourism Authority of Thailand's latest campaign to woo foreign tourists starting in Phuket on July 1st is a variation on a previous slogan. The new one is Amazing Thailand, Amazing Quat Derm, Amazing Thailand, even more amazing than before. The TAT governor told TAT that it was all systems go for the Phuket sandbox after he had a video conference with 50 to 60 tourism reps from the private sector on the holiday island. He threw out plenty of buzzwords. One was the importance of what he called city marketing. This was needed because if foreigners looked at the total virus numbers in Thailand, they might be scared and put off visiting. So it was important that the Phuket figures were reported separately to inspire confidence that the virus was under control. This said, he spoke yesterday, and then it fed into the countdown to reopen Phuket campaign at the TAT. This would explain clearly how many were infected with COVID-19 on the island and how many had been vaccinated. In addition, he has some other things up his sleeve. This included taking what he called 200 KOL bloggers out in July to see how Phuket had changed for the better. KOL means key opinion leaders. This would all feed into the new Amazing Thailand slogan. Additionally, he was planning on inviting foreign TV channels to Phuket over a 1 to 2 month period to show how well everything was going. TAT also quoted a senior executive at Central who said that 85% of the staff had been vaccinated, creating a herd immunity that would inspire tourists to shop there. Now, just one thing remains to be answered. Will the tourists come? And that is a fantastic question because I have never read so much nonsense in all my life. So firstly, they want to distinguish Phuket from the rest of the Thailand. So does he believe that international governments will write down Thailand at the top and then in little brackets underneath it, Phuket, 0 cases? Of course not. And the idea that people will differentiate is nonsense. Thailand is Thailand. Phuket is part of Thailand. It'll be all thrown in to the same basket. However, that's not the issue. He spoke with 50 to 60 tourism reps from the private sector on the holiday island. How about speaking with foreign travel agents? How about speaking with foreign airlines? How about speaking with people in the countries that in the countries that you want to attract? Has there been any communication? Because from my knowledge, there has been very little. So it is confusing to see who this is all being marketed to with 40 days left to go. I don't see it. And I certainly don't see people traveling. There's some big issues that they fail to mention, such as Thailand being on, let's say, the UK amber list. So you can go, but when you come back to your country, you have to quarantine at home. So people don't have all that kind of time off. The same in most countries in Europe. If you go and you come back, you have to self-quarantine at home. And if Thailand does not get the vaccinate or the virus under control, which it doesn't seem to be, because now they're talking about they have the Indian variant here, the South African variant. I mean, they're going to end up being put into the red list very quickly. So unless something's done about that, rather than just, pray every day that it's all going to get better, I don't see where this is leading to. Look, I would hope that Phuket could open July 1st. People need international tourism, but too much is being built up of this, and people are going to have their expectations are going to be set too high for what will inevitably not be the rush of people that they think is coming. So these are certainly things they need to think about for the future and for the July 1st reopening. Now, once we get more details and the full details, I will be as quick as I can to get them up on the channel for people. So that's what we have today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating. We are available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.